Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Great Books in 10 Minutes. In this video, we will be delving into one of the greatest works of ancient literature, The Odyssey by Homer. If you would like to watch my complete summary of The Odyssey, you can find it on the channel or from the links in the description box and the pinned comment. Written more than 2,500 years ago, The Odyssey is a cornerstone of Western literary canon, and its influence can be seen in everything from contemporary novels to blockbuster films. It tells the story of the Greek hero Odysseus and his epic journey home after the Trojan War, a journey filled with danger, adventure, and supernatural encounters. The Odyssey is a work of immense literary and historical significance, offering a window into the culture, beliefs, and values of ancient Greece. It is also a complex and challenging work, one that rewards close and careful reading. To truly appreciate the depth and nuance of the Odyssey, one must engage with its rich poetic language and multifaceted characters. While we cannot hope to explore every nuance of the Odyssey in a single short video, we will attempt to shed light on some of its most fascinating and important elements. Through careful analysis of its themes, characters, and literary techniques, we hope to deepen our understanding of this remarkable work and discover why it continues to captivate readers and scholars alike thousands of years after its creation. The Odyssey tells the story of the renowned Greek hero Odysseus and his journey home after the Trojan War. Along the way, he faces numerous challenges, including battles with mythical creatures, encounters with vengeful gods and goddesses, and the treacherous schemes of mortal enemies. Through cunning, bravery, and the help of his loyal companions, Odysseus eventually makes his way back to his homeland, where he must confront the consequences of his long absence and fight to regain his place as king. At its heart, the poem is a tale of perseverance and courage. Through his trials and tribulations, Odysseus embodies the themes of strength, cunning, and determination, inspiring readers with his heroic feats. Through his unwavering persistence and ability to adapt to changing circumstances, he demonstrates the power of human will in the face of adversity. Odysseus is not just a skilled warrior, but a master strategist and tactician as well, using his wits and intellect to outsmart his enemies and overcome seemingly impossible odds. From his clever ruse with the Cyclops Polyphemus to his strategic planning of the attack on the suitors in his own home, Odysseus is a good example of the power of human intelligence and ingenuity. The role of fate is also prominent in the narrative, with the interference of the gods and Odysseus' own actions shaping his destiny. The concept of fate is depicted as a dynamic and multifaceted force that plays a significant role in the hero's journey. The interference of the gods and the divine in Odysseus' affairs is portrayed most prominently in the aid provided by the goddess Athena. Athena plays a crucial role in helping Odysseus return to his homeland by intervening in various ways, such as disguising him, giving him advice, and manipulating the other gods to assist him. Athena's actions not only help Odysseus overcome practically unconquerable obstacles, but also highlight the power and influence of the gods in shaping the fates of mortals. Another example of the gods' interference is Calypso's captivity of Odysseus on her island. Calypso, a nymph and daughter of the Titan Atlas, forces Odysseus to stay with her on her island for years, delaying his journey home. Calypso's actions reflect the idea that even the gods cannot completely control the fates of mortals, as her interference ultimately proves futile in preventing Odysseus' eventual return home. However, it is not only the gods who influence Odysseus' fate. His own actions and choices also play a significant role in shaping his destiny. For instance, his blinding of Polyphemus, the son of Poseidon, results in the god holding a grudge against him and delaying his journey home. Odysseus' actions highlight the idea that despite the ancient Greeks' belief in predetermined destiny, they also believed that individuals have agency and the ability to shape their own fates, even in the face of powerful forces like the gods. In the Odyssey, the elements of hope and sadness are ever present, working in parallel to create a complex and emotional narrative. The poem is filled with moments of grief and sorrow as the main mortal characters, Odysseus, Penelope, and Telemachus, struggle to navigate the challenges that life has thrown their way. However, despite these difficulties, they never lose their hope, and it is through this hope that they become worthy of the divine help that ultimately leads to their reunion. At the heart of Penelope's story in the Odyssey lies her unyielding hope to be reunited with her husband Odysseus. To postpone her marriage to one of the suitors, she uses the excuse that she will not wed until she has finished weaving a burial shroud for her father-in-law Laertes. Each night, she unpicks the threads to buy more time. Despite Odysseus's prolonged absence and her reasonable assumption that he may have perished, Penelope remains steadfast in her resolve to wait for him, even when faced with pressure and intimidation from the suitors. Ultimately, her unwavering hope and persistence are rewarded as she is eventually reunited with her beloved husband at the end of the poem. Telemachus, the son of Odysseus, also exemplifies the theme of hope in the Odyssey. Despite not having seen his father for many years, Telemachus firmly believes that he is still alive and holds on to the hope of his safe return. This unrelenting hope is what leads to his acceptance of the encouragement of the goddess Athena, who disguises herself as his father's friend mentor and convinces him to set sail to Pylos in Sparta to find his father's whereabouts. In the face of difficulties and the intrusion of the suitors, Telemachus remains resolute and steadfast in his hope, never losing sight of his ultimate goal. Strong determination ultimately leads to the reunion of father and son, highlighting the incredible power of hope to overcome even the greatest of challenges. Odysseus as well embodies the theme of hope in the face of adversity. He endures years of captivity on Calypso's island and faces mutiny from his own men, not once but twice, yet he never loses sight of his ultimate goal of returning home. Despite the impossible challenges he faces, his unyielding hope sustains him and allows him to persevere. The first mutiny occurs when his crew opens the bag of winds given to him by Aeolus, the king of winds, causing their ship to be blown off course and prolonging their journey home. Despite the setback, Odysseus never loses hope and continues to lead his men toward their goal of returning home. The second mutiny occurs when Odysseus's men disobey the god Helios and kill his sacred cattle, bringing the wrath of the gods upon themselves and causing a storm that destroys their ship. Zeus kills all of them in the storm except for Odysseus, who clings to hope and survives. On both occasions, when his crew mutinies, Odysseus is punished by being forced to return to the previous stop on his journey. The first time, the winds carry him and his men back to Aeolia, where Aeolus declines to offer further assistance. On the second occasion, after losing all of his men and surviving Zeus's wrath, the currents push Odysseus back to the perilous strait where he once confronted the fearsome six-headed sea monster Scylla and the whirlpool of Charybdis. This repetition of events in the Odyssey emphasizes the cyclical nature of life. Odysseus' journey is marked by a series of challenges, victories, and setbacks that ultimately contribute to his growth as a hero and eventual return home. His second encounter with Charybdis serves as a reminder that life consists of a constant cycle of trials and tribulations, as well as perseverance and triumph. To survive the encounter with Charybdis, Odysseus grabs hold of a fig tree growing on a rock overhanging the whirlpool. He waits, holding on to the tree until Charybdis spews out his raft. Once his raft reappears, he drops down onto it and starts rowing away with his hands. The fig tree grows on a rock above the dangerous whirlpool of Charybdis and serves as a lifeline for Odysseus in an almost hopeless situation. It represents a glimmer of hope amidst the perils he faces and by holding on to it, Odysseus demonstrates his unwavering determination to overcome adversity. Clinging to the fig tree signifies his refusal to succumb to despair, even when faced with nearly invincible challenges. Furthermore, the fig tree can be seen as a symbol of Odysseus's mental fortitude. As he clings to the tree, he endures the physical strain and the mental challenge of waiting for the right moment to let go and reclaim his raft. This test of patience and endurance showcases his mental strength, which is just as vital to his survival as his physical prowess and cunning. In the Odyssey, the journeys of Telemachus and Odysseus serve as a means to continue and, in some cases, conclude the story of the Trojan War and the fates of its heroes. By weaving these journeys into the narrative, Homer preserves the history of the Trojan War and creates a tapestry of interconnected stories that allows readers to delve deeper into the lives of the characters and the cultural memory of the time. Telemachus' journey to Pylos and Sparta is a crucial component of the Odyssey. His quest to find news about his father, Odysseus, provides an opportunity for the reader to learn more about the aftermath of the Trojan War. As Telemachus visits Nestor in Pylos and Menelaus in Sparta, both of whom are key figures from the Trojan War, he uncovers stories of the heroes and their fates. For example, the tale of Agamemnon's murder, illustrating how the consequences of the war linger even after the conflict itself has ended. Or when Menelaus shares the account of his escape from Egypt and his encounter with Proteus, the sea creature, and his daughter. Odysseus' journey to the underworld further contributes to this continuation of the Trojan War narrative. Odysseus encounters the ghosts of various Greek heroes who perished during the war or as a result of its aftermath. For instance, he encounters Agamemnon, who details his murder at the hands of his wife Clytemnestra and her lover Aegisthus. Furthermore, the inclusion of these journeys in the Odyssey serves to preserve the history of the Trojan War. As Homer's epic poems were passed down orally, the retelling of these stories and the fates of the heroes contributed to the collective memory of the war. In a time when written records were scarce, this method of preserving history through storytelling and epic poetry was essential to ensure that the tales of heroism and tragedy would not be forgotten. It can be argued that during Odysseus' encounter with the ghosts of deceased warriors, Homer criticizes the concept of Kleos and its true importance in the life of a human being. Kleos refers to fame, glory, or renown achieved through heroic deeds or battles in Greek mythology and literature. It represents the lasting legacy an individual leaves behind after death and is tied to the ancient Greek values of honor and heroism. Pursuing Kleos was crucial for warriors as it granted them a form of immortality through their deeds being remembered and celebrated by future generations. However, Homer demonstrates his doubt of the true value of renown and heroic deeds in the Odyssey. For instance, during his conversation with Odysseus in the underworld, Achilles expresses regret for having chosen a short life filled with glory over a long life of obscurity. Achilles, the warrior hero who pursued Kleos, challenges the traditional notion of Kleos as the ultimate goal, suggesting that the pursuit of glory may not bring lasting happiness or fulfillment. The spirits of dead heroes that Odysseus encounters also underscore the human cost of pursuing Kleos. Many of these heroes met tragic ends due to their pursuit of glory, revealing the potential downside of chasing Kleos, as it can lead to suffering and loss for both the individual and their loved ones. The Odyssey emphasizes the importance of family and domestic life, which stands in contrast to the pursuit of Kleos. Homer suggests that personal happiness and fulfillment can be found in one's relationship and home life, rather than solely in the pursuit of fame and glory. Odysseus' primary goal is to return home to his wife Penelope and his son Telemachus. Moreover, Odysseus is celebrated for his intelligence, resourcefulness, and cunning. rather than just his prowess as a warrior. His ability to outsmart his enemies and overcome obstacles through strategy and diplomacy often proves more valuable than brute strength. The Odyssey provides a unique window into the traditions, beliefs, and customs of ancient Greece. The epic poem offers readers a glimpse of the values and practices that shaped Greek society through its depiction of marriage, hospitality, societal norms, sacrificial ceremonies, and familial bonds. Examining specific examples from the text further reveals the nuances of ancient Greek culture. The societal expectations surrounding marriage are exemplified by the behavior of the suitors who believed their intrusion on Penelope was justified because she was single and had to marry. According to the norms of the time, a woman without a husband was vulnerable and needed to be protected. The concept of hospitality or xenia is prominently featured in the Odyssey. Despite the unwelcome presence of the suitors, Telemachus and Penelope are forced to show them hospitality, emphasizing the importance of xenia in ancient Greek society. This idea is further reinforced by the warm reception Telemachus receives from Nestor and Menelaus during his journey. The kindness shown to Odysseus by the Phaeacian king and his queen also exemplifies the significance of xenia, as they welcome him with open arms and provide him with hospitality. Sacrificial ceremonies are another key aspect of ancient Greek culture depicted in the Odyssey. In Pylos, Telemachus witnesses a sacrificial ceremony led by Nestor. The scene showcases the importance of religious rituals in maintaining a connection with the gods and seeking their favor. Such ceremonies were believed to play a crucial role in securing divine protection and guidance, reflecting the deeply ingrained religious beliefs of the people. Finally, the way in which Odysseus reunites with his father Laertes sheds light on the significance of family bonds and the concept of filial duty in ancient Greek society. Upon revealing his true identity, Odysseus embraces his father and weeps, symbolizing the deep emotional connection between parent and child. Their reunion demonstrates the importance of familial ties and the expectation that children would fulfill their obligations to their parents even after long periods of separation. Odysseus' ruthlessness in killing the suitors at the end of the Odyssey symbolizes several important themes and concepts, including divine justice, the restoration of order, the importance of honor, and the consequences of violating societal norms. Odysseus' action can be seen as a form of divine justice. Throughout the epic, the gods, particularly Athena, support Odysseus and his quest to return home. The suitors, by their disrespectful behavior towards Penelope and their disregard for the customs of hospitality, have offended the gods. In killing the suitors, Odysseus becomes an instrument of divine retribution, punishing the suitors for their transgressions and appeasing the gods. Furthermore, Odysseus' ruthlessness symbolizes the restoration of order and the re-establishment of his authority in Ithaca. The suitors have taken advantage of Odysseus' absence to seize control of his household, consuming his resources and attempting to marry his wife. By eliminating the suitors, Odysseus reclaims his position as the rightful king and reasserts his control over his family and kingdom. This restoration of order is further emphasized by the subsequent cleansing of the palace and the reunification of Odysseus with Penelope and Telemachus. Odysseus' actions also emphasize the importance of honor and reputation in ancient Greek society. The suitors have dishonored Odysseus by harassing his wife and squandering his wealth, while also failing to uphold the societal norms of hospitality and respect. By killing the suitors, Odysseus re-establishes his honor, avenges the wrongs committed against him and his family, and sends a message to others about the importance of maintaining one's reputation and adhering to societal customs. In addition, Odysseus' ruthlessness serves as a stark warning about the consequences of violating societal norms and the retribution that awaits those who commit such transgressions. The suitors, by their disrespectful behavior and disregard for the rules of hospitality, have invited their own destruction. In killing them, Odysseus demonstrates the potential consequences of defying social customs. Divine intervention plays a crucial role throughout the Odyssey, with Athena serving as Odysseus' primary source of support and guidance. The gods' involvement in human affairs is a common feature of ancient Greek literature, and their intervention often functions as a narrative device to shape events and guide the characters toward their destinies. At the end of the Odyssey, Athena's and Zeus's intervention serves to bring closure to the epic and prevent further bloodshed, emphasizing the gods' role in maintaining the balance between mortals and the divine. The intervention also underscores the theme of restoring order. After Odysseus kills the suitors, a potential conflict arises between their families and Odysseus. Left unchecked, this feud could plunge Ithaca into a cycle of violence and vengeance, disrupting the stability that Odysseus' return was meant to restore. By intervening, Athena and Zeus signal their approval of Odysseus' actions and their desire to see Ithaca return to a state of peace and prosperity. Finally, the gods' intervention highlights the importance of reconciliation and the need to break the cycle of violence. In ancient Greek society, feuds and acts of vengeance were often perpetuated through generations, causing lasting harm to individuals and communities. By stepping in to prevent further conflict, Athena and Zeus emphasized the necessity of moving beyond the grievances of the past and working toward a more harmonious future. Their actions serve as a reminder of the need for forgiveness and the potential for unity, even in the face of profound loss and suffering. The Odyssey remains an influential work of literature, offering readers a rich tapestry of themes, characters, and insights into the culture of ancient Greece. Through its exploration of divine intervention, the hero's journey, the importance of loyalty and honor, and the power of cunning and intelligence, the epic presents a multifaceted portrait of human nature and the challenges of life. Furthermore, the complex relationships between mortals and gods, the nuances of hospitality and societal norms, and the importance of reconciliation and forgiveness provide the thought-provoking backdrop against which the story unfolds. As a timeless tale of adventure, self-discovery, and bonds of family, The Odyssey continues to captivate audiences and inspire new generations of readers. Its relevance speaks to the universality of the human experience, transcending the boundaries of time and place to resonate with the timeless questions and struggles that define our existence. By engaging with the Odyssey, we not only enrich our understanding of the world of ancient Greece, but also gain valuable insights into our own lives, the complexities of human nature, and the power of storytelling to shape and define our shared cultural heritage. Very well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in this literary journey. I hope you found my analysis both enjoyable and thought-provoking. I strive to offer a unique, out-of-the-box perspective on the subjects I explore, acknowledging that they may differ from mainstream interpretations. Remember, you don't have to accept everything I have shared. These are simply my personal thoughts, shaped by years of learning and passion for literature. If you would like to support the channel, consider becoming a member, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your engagement helps keep this literary conversation alive. Until next time, keep reading and exploring the world of words.